Hi folks, and welcome back. Now before we get into today's epic session of Hearts of Iron 4, there's a couple of things I would like to say. And one is that, somewhat to my surprise, I have really enjoyed our China playthrough here. I think it's been exciting, challenging, tough, loads of different problems to solve that we haven't come across in the other nations that we've played. But above all, really engaging, and I really look forward to coming back to play every new session of it. And part of that enjoyment, this is the second thing I want to say, is fueled by all you guys commenting on the videos, giving me suggestions of what to do, pointing out things I've missed, of which there are many. And let's face it, I'm like ruling a huge empire here. It's not because of my incompetence that I miss things, it's because there's a lot going on. Right? Right? I'm going to keep telling myself that, and maybe I can believe it. Anyway, keep the comments coming. I love the suggestions of what to do, about which areas to focus on, which nations to go after, who to get peace with. And yeah, keep them coming. I love reading them. So this is a situation we've got in China as it stands today. Today's plan is to secure Xinjiang into the Chinese nation, which means kicking them out of the faction. Actually, I'll probably leave the faction, and then I will go to war with them and conquer them. That's probably going to be how that works. So that's going to be nice. To enact that, though, we're going to need to build some supplies up here, I think, because our last supply depot... Actually, do we have a railroad that goes in? We do. We have one, I think, that comes up here. So we're going to have to... do something about that anyway. So that's before the invasion. We can set those off in production in a moment. So that's going to be one area that we focus on today. I also have a big plan coming up for Japan, which we'll get onto in a moment. I'd like to try and push the British out of, or the Allies out of British Malaya, just to scoop up the resources, and there are some valuable resources still to be had down here. They're kind of useful for me, although we have got quite a lot of rubber now with the other conquests. But I mean, I'd rather we had them than they had them. So that's going to be a goal. And I think we can do that, but we shall see. So when it comes to Japan, as you know, that they have dominance of the seas, and if we were to try and attack over the sea to get anywhere, it would be so hard for us to build up naval dominance, unless something happened by fluke, and I don't think that's likely to happen. So the effort of building up a Chinese navy is going to be long and hard. So what we could do with Japan, and this has been suggested, I think, by a few people in the comments, is that once we kick them out of Asia, there's supposedly a peace deal supposed to come from Japan. Now that might not happen, because this gameplay has taken many different bizarre routes with various breakaway warlords going and joining allies and Axis and everything else. So if we get a peace deal with Japan, we can then perhaps ally up with them in the future, fight off the allies and the Axis, because we're at war with the Axis, and maybe put their navy to good use that way. It's a possibility. It'd be better than trying to fight it, and using their navy would help us to defend our lands against the allies who might be trying to seaborne invasion somewhere. It's a thought. Now, there's a very specific order we have to do this in. I can't just go and kick Japan out of Korea straight away and get the peace deal, because here's my thinking. I want to go to war with Xinjiang. I think we have to go to war with them anyway to absorb them into the Chinese Empire. That's what I'm expecting to happen. And we all saw what happened with the last lot I tried to do that with. They joined the Axis. And the first lot is this place. Where is it? Zibei Sanma. They joined the Allies and dragged me into more wars with the rest of the world. So if I were to get a peace deal with Japan and then go to war with Xinjiang, what are the chances that they would then join the Japanese Co-Asian Prosperity Sphere, or whatever it's called, sphere, and then drag Japan back into a war with me? So it sounds unlikely, but I would have said these lot joining the Axis and the Allies were unlikely. So I need to make sure I've conquered that first. So that's critical. They might also then join the Soviet Union and drag the Comintern into a war with me. That's quite possible, because this game is just nuts. The other reason that we have to be careful signing a peace deal with Japan, because I don't know how this will work, is that it'll be a white piece of some sort, but they'll need to cede this to me and allow me to take over Siam here. Because if all that goes, then any conquests I make down here are for nothing, and all the resources go with them. So peace with Japan is risky, and if it comes at all, it has to come at exactly the right time. So that's my thinking. So with that done and said, thanks for all the comments and suggestions about that, by the way. It's helped me form a bit of a plan to go forward. We need to get a force ready to go and do this. Now, Xinjiang seems to be dealing with the allies that snuck in through northern India here. So that's okay. So that means I can probably bring this army back. Now, this would be on Chinese. This is the Chinese Defense Army, is it? It is. It's this one right here. So I can delete this. I delete that. Come on. As it. Shift click. Control click. Hang on. Right click. It's not letting me. There we go. The game does some weird things sometimes. Right, and let's make sure I've got that army selected. And we're putting them on just that front line. Just like that. That's absolutely fine. And they can carry their training on. Because I think Xinjiang has got that. And if they haven't, I don't really care too much. So that's okay. Are those guys going to come out of there? Have I moved the wrong army over there? I feel like I moved the wrong army over there, so that's that one. Who have I just put on there, then? Oh, God. This game drives me absolutely nuts with this. This one. Halt. Halt. Cancel all orders. I've just moved them off the coast. That's a disaster. That wasn't supposed to happen. I should make these vastly, obviously different colours to make sure this sort of thing does not happen. But anyway, it does. So let's put them back. So there's 2 divisions there. I'm guessing you came from there. You might have come from Hong Kong. You might have come from Hangzhou. And you might have come from here. Something there, something there. I don't know. God, I don't know. I hope that hasn't left anything empty and undefended. Watch the Japanese suddenly invade and we lose all that. Anyway, so the army I wanted was this one, right? Which is this is Army 24 here. So we did finally get rid of the front line order, which was fine. Let's put that back in over there. And we should see, yeah, they scoot off. Great. So outdated equipment in production should only be those old basic infantry equipment, which is fine. We're using those to power the garrisons to make sure the good divisions don't use basic old rubbish stuff and get the newer stuff. That was the idea. And these are cheap to make because we did have a steel shortage as well. So that one's okay. We can ignore that. We've got air wings with no missions. Brilliant. So these are not supporting anyone at all. We were waiting to do this, weren't we? We were waiting to put them into, I'm guessing, airfields down here. So let's bring on the fighters. Oh, damn it. Go there. And air superiority. I should probably train these guys. And were we going to train them up first? Do you know what? We'll train them up first because I think technically it's more effective to just throw them in, but I feel like we should be training them. It feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? Okay, so we've dealt with that. We've got a spare military factory or 2. And at the moment we do have some spare steel, so that's good news. We're building some advanced fighters and some... Oh, we got the new... I think we got the new... Let me just check. These are the new ground attack aircraft. Yes, they are. With a bomb bay and a load of rockets slung underneath. They're pretty cool. So what does that leave us? Right now, I think it leaves us building some supplies. We've got radar coming on. That is a work in progress. We want a supply depot up here. I'm going to put it right on the border. And then let's go from here, or from here to there. and whack that up to maximum. And from there, can we just link this in? Is that actually linked in? What the hell is that? That is something else. I don't know what that is. Let's just bring the railroad down here. That's up to 5. That's already 5. Cool. Let's whack that up to the priority. Hopefully that will help. And we should have someone coming to man this board fairly soon. Oh, I didn't put the military factories in. Okay, good. So the advanced artillery is looking good. We're going to use a job lot of that in a minute. The anti-air is still quite well behind. That's the thing that we've always had a shortage of. Oh, and we're building... Oh, God, yeah, we're building these basic light tanks, aren't we? The idea being to put those into recon units. As recon units, I should say. Into divisions. So let me... Oh, I've also had an idea. Because we're starting to stretch these divisions thinly around the ports. There's a lot of them. So what I think we're going to do is... Yeah, we've got a lot of ports to defend. Now, we don't seem to... There's not much risk of this coming on. So I'm going to develop a new infantry division. Oh, hang on. What's this one? Infantry template 10. That's something I've inherited. Let's get rid of that so we don't get mixed up with it. I've inherited that from absorbing one of the warlords, I'm pretty sure. And the cavalry template 3. That's not one we're using, so let's get rid of that one. And motorized infantry. That's actually not bad compared to the one that I've got. Oh, no. No, let's just get rid of that. I'm not using them. That's fine. Get rid of the old templates. That's cheaper to build on from there. So, this was the standard infantry division. So, we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to call this port defense. I'm going to call it defense infantry, actually, because we might go a bit further than that in the future with it. And I have a plan. We've got loads of points to spend here, so we update that. Let's change this to something, I guess, defense infantry. Spades. We're digging in. Makes sense, right? We'll go for that. We basically want to boost this combat width up. Hang on a sec. Oh, okay, I know. I was panicking then, thinking this has gone down to combat width 16. That's because one of the military doctrines that we picked reduced the infantry division combat width, or infantry battalion or unit or whatever one of these is, the combat width of it, which allows us to basically fit more men into one space. So, yeah, that was 20 before, but we got the 0.40. No, it's not 0.40. Anyway, whatever the reduction was, we got it. So that's cool. So I want to boost this up to probably about 38 or so, but not off that one. I want to do it off this one. And the idea is just to have one massive defensive stack. Not just of infantry, though. We're going to put something else in it later. I will keep that a little secret for now. My plans. This is cheap. And it's effective. A combat width of 32. Defense value 866. That's what we want. This is going to be for either holding a static front line, or for what I'm going to use it for really is holding port. So it does need some support. Don't think it really needs cavalry recon department. It should have that. Don't think there's anything else I'm going to put in here ever. Got a hospital, it's got engineers, it's got AA and artillery. I could put Armoured Recon Company in, which was the idea of this. I'm going to put cavalry in for now. We can change that later. Cavalry's cheaper, doesn't use up fuel and armour and stuff. We're not going to make a huge amount of these, but anyway, this is a big defensive unit. And there's room for more yet. Good God, that is huge. Right, so the idea being... this is going to recruit some flipping soldiers. Right, so where's the blue army? This is on my defence These are defensive guys, right. So what we do is we change the template over to the... Oh, I haven't changed the symbol for this. Let me go and do that before I mess this up. I thought I'd put that as a pair of spades. That's what I was looking for. Got it. Is that looking good? Yeah, that's looking good. So let's go over to... Is this division in this army in particular? Because we are spreading here, and I think I can afford to have one division per port, and I don't think they'll fall. I have two at the moment of two smaller divisions, and the reason I've always done this in games of this is because two small divisions basically have more cohesion to lose than one big division, if that makes sense. That's the way it tends to work. A division its cohesion will go down under attack until it gets worn out, and then it has to retreat. But I think in this case, just to make our armies a bit more manageable, we can change this to one division per port, defense infantry. We've got all the stuff we need, which is excellent. And I don't know if I want to put them on training, because that's like a bit of a risk to do that. But we should be okay. And the other template I want to do, I would like some good old aggressive attacking infantry as well. Oh, I've got some spare armies in the middle. Okay, we'll work out what we're doing with those. Let's go for this one. So we're going back to this. Actually, no, at this point we can edit this one. We will duplicate this one. Copy of defense infantry. We need to change this to... This is going to be like the new aggressive attacking stuff. We could put that. They're not really special forces things though, are they? What have we got that looks pretty good? That just looks wrong. Infantry helmet with a skull on it. Go for sword. Oh, hang on. What about that one? Yeah. We don't want quite so much infantry in this. I want big, wide ones. But what I really want is a stack of artillery as well. So if we go for... Now, I don't really know. We want at least 4 of these. That's got the combat width up to there. Okay, let me take out... We want the soft attack going up. The organisation is not as high as I thought it might be, actually. Yeah, that's a little surprising. We could take... Actually, we could take support artillery out of this, as we have a ton in there. But this is going to be more aggressive. So, yeah, let's do this. The cavalry is going to be taken out and replaced with armoured recon. I'm not making support rocket artillery. That sounds kind of fun. I might throw some of that in. We might dedicate a military factory just to that. Combat width is currently 39. Okay, I could do with that being... No, that might be alright. I have a plan. This isn't going to be the final finish of this. So let's take that out. Should we chuck in for a laugh some support rocket artillery? Why not? It's going to make it a bit different. So these are going to be more for like soft attacking. And we're going to call this, just call this big infantry, because this is going to be my future big wide infantry template. We will save that. Yeah. We might develop a heavy tank destroyer. Not a heavy tank destroyer. And put that in as a slot as well. Or we might add a medium tank in, because they'll be cheaper to build. We'll see. We'll do something fun with that anyway. Big infantry, defense infantry. Those were the templates that I really wanted to work on for now. I haven't assigned anything to that. I could start recruiting a few. I'd probably be better off upgrading another army to those. So let's see what we've got. We've got a moderate defense line. Now these guys should be... Yeah, they're going to be facing the Soviet Union, because I don't know what's going to happen. Things could kick off there. Are the other armies trained up? they appear to be. A few supply issues, but that's okay. How are we doing with this? Unemployment assistance. Doesn't sound very Chinese to me, but anyway. So this is looking good. This is going to go horribly wrong for Xinjiang once I boot them out of there, but we do need to get our supply situation sorted first, and that depot needs to be made before the railways do. That'll be very good. We'll put an aggressive army on there, but as I say, not quite yet. And down here, we need to start focusing on what we're going to do with this. And I think I should probably bring the cavalry down. However, having said this, we're waiting for a new cavalry division to arrive, aren't we? It's going to be a while. These are big divisions, so let's go and find them. I lost one. Oh, these guys should be training. Let's just get them trained up before we send them off into battle. There's a little bit of improvement to do there. Got the new night vision stuff. That's cool. What are we on? 45? Okay, so we're ahead for that. We could go... Do we want to go armoured car? I think armoured cars, don't these add... Aren't these quite good for suppression, for going into garrisons? Not that I can afford to really make them yet. Where else? Support companies. Oh god, I mean this could definitely be improved. The industry. I should probably work up the oil situation. The radars we're working on. We're going to have to start working on the jets, I think, before long. And we should maybe start developing those medium-range bombers I said we were going to do a long time ago. Meanwhile, the Navy is inactive because we might have plans around the Japanese Navy. And this lot... Oh, I need to go and put a factory onto making rocket artillery, don't I? Oh, and armour. Now, this is something we definitely need to do, without a shadow of a doubt. So, if I go and develop the heavy tank destroyer and put those in as a unit in those divisions, it'll slow the infantry ones down, so that's okay, though. I'll need to make a lot of them. Be better off going medium tanks, wouldn't I? Just forgetting about heavies, going all the way up to the modern stuff. Scoot down here, ignore the heavies. Yeah, that'll be better. Considering my state of research and the factories that I've got, that would be the better option. So, should we roll out some... I want to do it, so let's do it. We'll get those, we'll develop something crap, and then we'll start building better ones as we research them. The situation with the Air Force. Okay, I could have done with some air power over here. Do I have anything spare? Could do with 100 or so fighters. Well, we probably have something. And we'll put them on training. I just want to add them over this bit here. Yeah, we got plans for these guys when these guys are trained up. And the Navy, yeah, okay. This is my fault. I forgot. I forgot we increased production of the mine submarines. So let's put them in there. Let's change that to that. And how do we split these in half? Do that. Do that. That's fine. Change to do not engage. We're still sticking with that. We don't want any mishaps here, and put them on mine laying. It's just to try and help our sea control around our borders is basically it. I can actually add this on as well now, can't I? We can put them in there too, so we can go down there. And that's going to be a slow burning process, but it will improve. Right, so we're ticking along. The fuel's looking okay. Supply situation is hopefully going to improve. Let me get these horsemen. They're not in a great state there. Can I railroad them down to where there's... Here, railroad them down to here to start with. There's definitely supplies there. And we've got enough points to improve our Where is it? This one again. So let's go. This is for tactical bomber strategic bombing plus 10%. We don't do any of that. So this is going to be straight for naval mission efficiency. We don't do any of that either at the moment, but that is definitely on the cards to improve. So we were working down the unemployment assistance. This is that the one that gives us the inflation? Yeah, okay. So we've got low inflation at the moment. We need to sort of keep a track of that. Oh, let me just have a look. How are we doing with the construction of those supplies? That's a long way off. The reason I ask is because over here, we're going to go for the one China policy. And that basically throws Xinjiang out of the faction, out of the United Front, and we gain a war goal against them. So that is what we want to do, but there's no rush to do that because I need that supply depot first. And in the meantime, we can go and try and take British Malaya with the troops that we would use to take that place over. Heavy weapons is research bonus for support artillery. That is a research bonus for mechanized. Forced loans. This focus unlocks decision forced loans. We have to have low inflation to take this. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a good thing to do, but it's probably something that we have to do at some point. What's this? The Inter-Party Coordination Council. We do need to do this to get the reforms and stuff, but I don't like it. I'm going to take that so we can see what the decisions are like when they come along. In the meantime, we can develop some iron ore deposits. Yeah, let me do that. Good. So let's see where my assault forces are up to. So these guys are on the front line. They're supplied now, and that's looking a whole lot better. They're in my standard infantry template, so that's cool. This is the other half of that army, and they are not. That's also fine. Let's march them down to this place. And this is my sole my sole armoured division at the moment, or excuse for an armoured division. What have we got? Non-aggression pact from the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. Sure, why not? I don't think it'll hold, but why not? And we have a free dockyard. Maybe we should start producing something more useful. Convoys are always going to be useful, so we'll put it into that for now, I think. How many? We only have one, so that's okay. Oh, that's a point, actually. Yes, it was pointed out to me. I was wondering how we were losing convoys because they're being used for trade and supply. Now, I have no trade deals that require convoys. They're all land trade deals. And I was thinking maybe a supply shipping across here somehow and getting sunk by the Japanese Navy. But it was pointed out by one of the commenters on YouTube. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember the names because I read this one a few days ago at the time of recording this. I should go back and look. But I thank you for pointing this out, that I think that convoys are being used. Although there's a land route here, they might be coming to supply this here. They might even be shipping supply down here, actually. And that's where... the hell is this one? What the hell is this? Is this a trade route? Aluminium to nationalist Spain. That's not mine, though. That's aluminium to nationalist Spain. So they're using their convoys, I think. I'm sure that's nothing to do with me. I hope. Anyway, so it looks like it's a supply situation. So if I build a railroad across here, and they weren't sure if you could do it across this zone, but I think you can. I think I had a quick look and tested it. So all I'm going to do is link that up to that. Let's also... we should link everything to everything, really, shouldn't we? 5. Whoops. 5. 5. We like 5s. And let's link this across country as well. Oh, let's go to the town. Let's go to the town. There we go.